Good morning and welcome. Welcome to the ASX Shares webinar. Now, it's been an unbelievably good time for doing this, for being in the markets, for trading. Simply incredible. And most of you probably have been happy that we've been not being killed in the markets. What I'd like you to do is to let me know what's going on with you, how are you feeling. Let me know. I would like to know. Give me a bit of a post that you're live and kicking. Need to know who's in the room. Just say hi if you're in here. Told YouTube can't have this request for some reason. Okay, so welcome. Deflation and death, the panic we have. On the 23rd of March, we decided to be buying some US stocks indices, which was the E-mini S&P, and we bought one third of our normal position because volatility was high, and at 23.04 and at 23.75 we also added to that position. The stock has been now raised. Firstly was at 22.76. Well, before that it was actually lower at 22.30, and then it moved up to 22.76. Then it went to 23.95. We took profit for 100 points profit on the lowest one at on the 25th of March at 5 a.m. That was the E-mini S&P. So we've been trying to work out what to do with that. That's now up probably about $9,000 US a contract. And so let me put this one. 2467. So we made really good money on that. We also added to our, we increased our self-managed super fund allocation. It's about just under 9,000 US a contract, say 8,900. It's up present, and this is unclosed contracts. We've got to decide that. Have a look at what I said with the BHG US equities in the recording of that previous one that we had. Say hi, let me know if you can see the screen okay. If it's not okay, what you can do, because it's in YouTube, is go in settings, increase the pixel rate that you get. There's a clarity rate that you can get. I think you can find this by going into copy the URL. I'll show you this at the risk of slowing all my system down. On Saturday I'm planning to do a webinar and teaching people how to work this. So if we go to settings here, make sure you go to quality. You can choose all the way through here, but go to the high as possible. Teaching people how to work this. Okay, so go to as high as possible. Send me a hi, send me a message if you can hear this. I need to know people are alive and kicking and able to see this, because I don't normally use this particular way of doing this. One of the benefits of doing it through YouTube is that it is recorded, so you can watch the recording. Now, next one we're going to look at, we see the E-mini, so we've been long. Notice it went up to a high of 25.60 overnight. Currently trading 24 67. So the E-mini trade we started was at 23.02, and we bought dips on the 23rd of March to 22.75 to get entered into those particular trades. So we're long, making about 9,000 US, which is about 15 or 16,000 Aussie. What we did do is on that same day, we went long on the we had another trade which this is a question from our members. From Eugene asked about Afterpay Touch Group, and Afterpay Touch, this is from Eugene, very nice call, David, up 30%, might trade in crypto, sell or hang on. Thank you, Eugene. Sell half raise stock to $13 medium term. So Afterpay Touch Group, not getting the UK feed coming down. Afterpay Touch Group, this feed's not working that way. Everybody must be looking at data. Try this one. And it was up here around, it was up 30%. This is data isn't updated. Sell half, raise. So that's taking profit on that. So we've had some fantastic runs. Fantastic runs on this. Here we go. The volatility has been extraordinary. I think we were talking there. So as you see, Afterpay has reached a doji stop. We raised to $13. I agree with that stop loss. If you did buy Afterpay based on my call to buy Afterpay, I think it was on the 23rd. Yeah, bank half, keep it running. At the moment, let me know if you can hear me, see me. Let me know whether it's working. So the question is, what do we do now? We've looked at the SPY earlier in the world indices, so the SPY is a reflection of what's going on, and it's close to completing a target at the moment. Best thing we're looking for now, probably about 53.80 on the top side. Might probably go to 55.25 today, 55.22 today. I doubt that. This is not over. Talking of the covert virus, we are covertly seeing our freedoms taken away, and the government's plan for these sort of things, and then they try and slip stuff into the legislation which removes things like, say, taking out the fact that if anybody's got cash in the system, they'll just ban cash. Small things like that get slipped under the radar when there's these crisis legislations that Scotty Morrison and friends have been devising. Now, the best thing I can say is we'll start to reduce our equities. Now, we got long down, we added our self-managed super funds asset allocations down at on the 23rd of March. And so we've had a nice run. It'll probably be up 10% on that within 2 days. It may be worthwhile dropping in half the allocation that you had today. Just because it's a 3-day rally, a couple of days rally is just a correction. Now, the financials have been good, but they really need to close above 42.50, otherwise they're in trouble. The materials index stocks have been good. We know China has been still demanding product from BHP and Rio, and it's now back at work, so it's starting to pollute again. The best thing ever for the world is China not making stuff, but it just likes to continue to make money. 11,441 on the top side should do the materials index. It was ahead of the game. BHP had a ripper of the day. We were looking for it to get towards just under $32, which it has gotten up to a high of $31.30. So we might expect a little bit more of that. Let's look at BHP in the US, see how far it got. It got okay, but still, there's still a little bit more to go, but at present, I think they're going to run out of a bit of puff. The energies index needs to close above 6,000. You'll notice crude oil is still looking like going down lower. The healthcare index needs a break above 40,000 to confirm that it's okay. The gold index, now this has been rapidly ricocheting upwards. Things like the Bureau have been going on the front foot. Gold itself, unfortunately, didn't make it through the double top at 1,600. Where's that? See here, it had basically 4 tries at this 1,700 area. It's now trading back to 1,633. I do think it will come back down to 1,550. And have a look at the way to trade it in the commodities webinar that I just did. Property index, this didn't get off the ground. I expected to find it really difficult to get towards 1,200. Property is overvalued, and people haven't got cash if they're not working to pay for it. Landlords will be, who are overborrowed, will be under real cash flow constraints. So be careful of the property index. We know it failed at the wrong level. It didn't quite get to where I think it should have gotten to retrace everything from the global financial crisis, and it failed again. So property index is a bit of a problem. The telecoms index, again, this needs to get above 10.95 on a closing price basis, otherwise it's still in trouble. The small ordinaries index, I wouldn't be touching this unless it's for a very short-term trade. It will recover, but not so good. The information technology index needs a break above 1040, looking for 1122. Otherwise, currently, probably back down to 862. Now, what we should get is sideways movement in this market. We did go after Afterpay, after Puke, I was calling it. Now look at the volatility. Now what happened was, when we were taking profit, a gentleman called Bill Ackman of Pershing Group decided also to take profit. And maybe I've taken it away. Now he bought some put options, and Profit Hunter Group member bought some put options as well on the S&P, mispriced. Traders puke. So we're in that mode. war like flood of debt as ECB considered helicopter money. Doesn't solve anything. Keep their money in the banks, it's safe. Apple tumbles again, iPhone 5 could be delayed. So Apple's getting knocked. Where is this? Bill Ackman. Help lift the price of oil. I think it would be better to have cheap oil. Now, Bill Ackman here, 23rd, we completed our exit. This is an announcement he made that the hedges generated proceeds. Notice he says the word hedges. He was protecting his share portfolios. So he made $2.6 billion on an investment of $27 million. He exited that. And with what we saw, he exited that trade on the 23rd. We were buying on the 23rd with Bill Ackman, just like we were buying when Donald Trump won the election in November 2016 with Carl Icahn. Now notice here, they sold off the volatility in the market on the 23rd, and it went down and went down, and it got down into a level where it was reasonable, and it's bounced because we're still not out of the way. We're still not out of the road. Volatility went up even though the stock market went up. Normally volatility gets drops in price, drops in volatility terms, percentage-wise, when the stock market goes up. So volatility is still a thing. Okay, I'm going to throw it open to questions because I don't know what stocks you want to have a look at. Let me know which questions you want to have. I'll have a look at it. Yeah. Okay. That's interesting. So you replied to me. My voice is faint and a bit of a hiss. Okay, sorry about that, Michael. And that message is not coming up in the chat box, which is really weird. I appreciate the message because I was wondering, it looks like they're not coming up. And yeah, my sound is a bit strange. I'll have to get another mic. And this is a bit annoying, isn't it? You know what it could be? Could be picking up a different sound than what my computer is. Okay, thanks, Mike. So, any questions? I'll check my email box, and I appreciate you telling me that because that's really curious why that is. And you sent me did you send me an email or did you use the chat box? If you can use the chat box. Very strange. So you emailed it to me, Michael, did you? Or so I'm just wondering where the chat, if the chat pops up. Okay. So we've got no questions. Okay, let's go through our PHG trades. On the weekend, I'm going to run train the Chartist. So what do we have? Beach Petroleum, we're looking to buy a break above $1.07. Didn't quite get there. Yeah, I got the $1.09, we're long. Entered at $1.09 yesterday. 25th of 3rd. Okay. I'm happy to bring that stop loss up to $1.01. Wasn't it 120 where it entered? FMG, we were short. We took profit at $10.40. We stopped out for a profit. Gold Road, we're long. We actually filled at $1.02. Stock is at $1 now on Gold Road. It's trading now $1.40. So we can bring that stop loss up to $1.15 now. Should be nice. We've achieved the target. What else can we were looking for 142, we got $1.45. I'm almost inclined to take some profit, but just let it run on the stop. Mesoblast with 12,250, that's a long way away. I think I changed that to buying a bit of a break up. Now we're going to buy a close above $16.10 with a limit of $16.50. That has not happened. Pru, we're long with the stop at 75 cents on Perseus. That's doing good. Let's bring that stop up to here, 87 cents. We've got such a big move. We're looking on 30 now. We could take profit on 1 quarter. Okay, let's take profit on 1 quarter and quarter minute. Okay, Westpac, we're looking to buy a break above $16.10 with a limit at $16.45. Now Westpac still needs its fine. Not seeing the chat box. So SBM, okay. My voice is not good. Okay, let's see if I can change that. It did seem to work pretty good on the other part. Audio. Oh, I see what's happening. Is this sound better? Let me know if that sounds better, because there's a setting in a different software. Let me know if that sounds better. And the chat box, there should be a chat box. Should be a chat box. Should be. Is anybody using mobiles? Michael, are you using a mobile? Unfortunately, I don't use this one. Is the sound better now? Let me know. I'm seeing Mike and Jen sending emails. So we'll do SPM. So Westpac didn't close above there. I think ANZ did, but we haven't seen a close above. St Barbara. I'm liking this. I think it's complete. I think it's a corker. Yes, no noise, so it's a better sound, and I apologise to everybody. I don't normally use this, normally I record it. And Jen's coming through. Jen's found the thing. Abe's found it too. Okay, everyone's found the chat box. Where did you find it, Jen? Are you on your iPad or and
Michael, have you got yours? What one are you using? It looks like the chat's coming up. Okay, that's good. I'm pleased. Got the link from Twitter. Voice much better. I had to set up the chat. So Michael, you need to set it up. Set up YouTube channel. Okay. Oh, okay. It's too late for that one. Cat's out of the bag, I guess, Abbe. A break above $2.56 looks towards $4. I think you're probably looking to new highs with SBM on $5.50. So I want to see a bit better volume than this on the weeklies, but there's definitely something nice about what's going on in the monthlies if we finish here. Clearing through $2.40 makes me very happy, looking for $3.12 in SBM. I don't know where. The link just took, not seeing a chat box. Okay. Seems like everybody else has found it, Michael. Appreciate when people find it. Okay, next one. Yeah, so if it doesn't work, stop is at $1.97. I'd say this is one of the best, cheapest gold stocks we've got. Okay, any other questions? Jen says terrific. Okay. Okay, this is quite good actually, once I get the right sound working. Okay, so let's look at ANZ. I think it closed over $16 yesterday. There we go. Fairly good stuff compared to the other one. So ANZ is preferred over NAB and Westpac. CBA had a big move yesterday. Big move back up. I still don't trust it for some reason. Volume's still not as good as not as heavy as the way down. So maybe it only gets to $67.81 there again. Okay. Oh, you got it, Michael? Fantastic. Okay. We talked about Afterpay, and now from the COVID total cases per population, I just want to have it show you some of these things. San Marino has 5,500 per million. Now San Marino is a subset of Italy, really, as is the Vatican City. So these numbers out, total cases per population, are pretty well bogus. But look at Switzerland. It has more cases per million than anybody else of a large country, moderately large, like Luxembourg, Liechtenstein, Iceland, Andorra, Faroe Islands. They're all small, right? All tiny. But Italy, Switzerland, Spain, all in that grouping there, all having similar numbers per population. Austria also kind of up there in the link. Up there, Norway. So all these European countries, because of the way Europe's set up, they freely move around. It's a bit like a school. Everyone sends their kids to schools, and kids go there. They mix. They give viruses to each other. The kids don't have that big an effect as what they're saying, and they come home to their parents and grandparents and they give it to them. I was watching Parliament, And all of these virtue signaling parliamentarians saying thank you to teachers for minding their children while they're dealing with this crisis. If you talk to any teacher, they don't believe they are childminders, they are there to teach. And it's quite sickening to see that the parade of these people talking. But notice here, a lot of these high ones, high scores are in Europe. It's a sign Europe may be falling down the dunny. Australia, not too bad. Czechoslovakia is on the list. Where's Australia? Down here. 95 cases per million people. Now, it's bad, lots of new deaths. We don't not getting that much out of China. China doesn't have any information. So total cases, China's the biggest, but they seem to have no new cases. I don't believe it. I don't think it's possible. If it is, it's a bloody miracle. And the virus from Iran, which I think is a special one, and you notice Iran and China are the enemy of America. We don't get statistics from North Korea. Be interesting to see how that's hit, because it has linkages back and forth between China and North Korea. But an explosion in new cases. Stay at home, do stuff. Webinar on Saturday. We'll have the Train the Trader, Train the Chartist, educational webinar on how to use my techniques and how to think in the market so that you can do this yourself. Okay, any questions on any stocks? I'm kind of fumbling around. We don't have questions on stocks. Okay, let's pick up and we'll look at CIMIC. Do some property stock stuff. That sector, CIMIC's probably, it was a bargain. It's now not. It's expensive. Sydney Airports. Sydney Airports, it's come down from ridiculously high to where it should have been, but probably we expect $4.05 if things are to continue to be bad. Lend-Lease. We've already covered Pru. That's on a PHG trade. Over here we see Prudential. We got long at 83 cents back on the 19th of March. 87 cents is the stop. I think it's trading up at about $1.05. Just pick that up. We'll do Pru later. Sorry, Lend-Lease later. Yeah, trading back up $1.06. So that was pretty cool to get a hold of that one. I think you told me you got a hold of some of that. So we're going to do market on open, taking profit on 1/3 on the 26th today, first thing. Okay. So the other one I was looking at was Lend-Lease. Now Lend-Lease, that's cut itself in half. I'm not sure if I want to get involved with that. That could be just an unmitigated disaster. Probably a little bit more to go on the downside for this Lend-Lease. Certainly getting cheap, but as it's a landlord, I guess, it's got some problems. Vicinity Network, Vicinity Centres is part of the PHG trade stuff. We did go long. We bought it at $1.14 and $1.08. Now trading $1.15. Did it? We got in. We just missed on getting stopped out. We came in on this one here. So it's surviving. I want to ratchet that up to 97 cents. Now we did increase our self-managed super funds on the 23rd by 1%. And across the board, I'm half inclined to take 0.5% off now because of the rally. And I think I'll do that. Let's do minus 0.5%. You notice that Saunders has said, oh, I don't know about this. He looks like he's going to die in office if he gets elected, but he's not likely to. Joe Biden is not going to die while ever he can pull his money strings and get his ICE addict son hundreds of thousands of dollars a month just for being a Biden. Pretty good. Pretty good when you can, not bad when you do that. Notice this, sharp foreign buyer pullback. If I was Chinese, if I was Japanese, I'd be banking the cash in the US bonds like you wouldn't believe and bringing those US dollars back into China. That's what I'd be doing, and I think you'll find that's what they will probably start doing. If they're not buying now, they're probably going to turn to sellers soon. So traders puke after Bernie Sanders does the X. Prepared to put on until the stronger conditions are on the 500 billion corporate welfare pack. That's why it's just pulled back. Obviously Mario Draghi, the infamous money druggie from Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs profits from cheap money because it forces everybody into buying shares. That's where they get their fees. S&P's just downgraded Ford Motor Company to junk. That's not good. Initial jobless claims come in for 2.5 million. This is, I had a friend coming from Reno, said there was 2 people on a plane to Los Angeles, 2 people, and the route itself was losing $500,000 a week. Apple getting smashed. Abe is saying Joe Biden is coughing all the interviews. I think he got COVID-19 already, like the royals. Yeah, Prince Charlie the Prince has got COVID, apparently. Because they've got so many people fluttering around, it's people who don't have staff is going to be okay. See where the E-mini is right now, and I'll get out of your hair, and we'll do a bit of LLC after that. E-mini, it's come back a little bit. It's okay. Yeah, it's into a bit of overhead resistance, so it's banking some cash on a small basis makes sense. Ox, I'm in a webinar, mate. I'll give you a call back. I'm just finishing up in about 10 minutes. Lend-Lease, that's in trouble. What about SGP? Lend-Lease, SGP. It's probably cheap. It's probably worth buying. Okay. Qantas had a bit of a silly move up yesterday. Yeah. All this is a sideways movement. Remember we were at Mervac. Mervac was up at around 360 area. So I want to see where Qantas finished, because I didn't see where it finished. 327. It's into overhead resistance. Volume is pretty good. Profiting through bailout. Stupid idea. Let's look at Virgin also went up, and let's have a look at CSL. Cochlear, I think, is in trouble. CSL, all over the place, really. Look at this. This is unbelievable volatility. Nobody knows what to do. I've been advising most people to keep their head down and play at the margin. That's why when we bought in the E-mini, we had a big wide stop, and that's come in and we're making money now. Okay, have you got any other questions before I get the hell out of here? No questions? ResMed, RMD, yeah, okay. ResMed has bounced pretty well from that $18 area. Volume is declining, so I don't rank it that highly. I think you'll find it, unless it doesn't get above, if it can get above $24, it's in a good position, but if it can't, down below $18 in my opinion. Any other questions? We wanted to have a look at Apple, didn't we? Now, Apple tumbling, that's a bad headline. Everything, Apple tumbles, right? This is a headline from yesterday, or the US market now. A new report could delay the launch of its 5Gs. It's not a very good headline, that one. It's come back into overhead resistance like most things. Volume still not setting the world apart. There aren't strong buyers, so probably down towards 166 or 180 in Apple. Okay, that's it for me. Hope you've enjoyed that. I'm sorry about the sound going in not quite the same as it should have, but we are all good now, I believe. Thanks everyone. Bye.